So I am a licensed attorney in the state of Georgia, and I practice personal injury, and I am looking to go into civil rights. So I practice in Atlanta and Brunswick, Valdosta, and Albany. All obviously are very different cities. You've got the one main city and then the smaller cities. But I love the family surrounding, the southern aspect of the cities and kind of that southern feel, the generosity of my clients and of the area. My mother. My mother took in foster children after my father and her were married for over 35 years. They decided that they wanted to start having more children, and when they found out they couldn't, they decided to take into foster children. The generosity of my parents, showing the love and helping people who were in their worst days of their lives, showed me how to give more when I didn't think I could have any, and to be more empathetic to people who are having bad days, having bad weeks, having bad months, and being there as a beacon of light for them. I think a successful attorney is putting your clients first, remembering that they are the victims and remembering that they need help from you. Successful attorney is going to be one that listens to their clients, not only listens, but hears what they're trying to say and goes out of their way and anything they can do to help them. I've always wanted to be an attorney ever since I was a little girl. There was never a question of what I was going to be. I wanted to be an attorney because I was adopted, and I remember being in the courtroom and seeing the attorneys and the judge and remembering how they were changing my life, realizing they were changing my life right there. The power that they yielded was amazing to me. And the way they did it with such grace and empathy to me, I knew that that's what I wanted to be. I was placed in this position of adoption to be there for other people. So when I first moved to Atlanta, I was an adjuster with a pretty big insurance company. I wasn't really sure that personal injury was what I wanted to do. The more that I heard the people who had been involved in accidents, and I was on the other side of the fence at that point, but I knew that they were hurting, and I knew that they really needed someone to be there and to listen and to help in any way they can. Most people get really upset when they're in accidents, mostly about their cars, most of the time, but to have somebody who's there to listen and to help and to treat them as a family member and as if the accident actually happened to them, I knew right then and there that I wanted to help and that this is what I wanted to do. Going back to my mother, my empathy and being able to listen, and not only listen, but to hear what's happening and then to execute my promises to my clients, I think makes me an excellent lawyer. I believe in what my clients say, and I believe in myself to be the best attorney I can be to help them get justice for what they've been wronged. I've been called a workaholic. Most lawyers are. My work style is, I would say it's a little bit more laid back in the sense that I pretend as if I'm talking to a family member. So if you've been in an accident, I'll pretend you're my brother or my sister in my head. So instead of you being a complete stranger, I kind of just listen and learn more about you. I learn more about your family. I learn more about what happened on this day and where you want to be at the end of the situation. I've been in this industry for a very long time. I've gone through being an adjuster for almost 10 years, then being a paralegal. I can tell you without question, of all the firms I've worked at, all the insurance companies I've worked at, anybody in this industry, FARAH and FARAH, they believe in their clients. It is a family atmosphere. It is not a churn and burn. It is not a a firm where we're just worried about results. We are worried about results for our clients. And if our clients are happy, to me, that makes all the difference. I want to be able to go to bed at night and wake up knowing I am making a difference. And that's really big to Farah and Farah. I tell the new clients about myself. I want them to know who is representing them. A lot of firms, you just walk in the door and you're assigned a case manager. You don't even get to talk to the attorney. A lot of the clients are surprised that I am the attorney. They think I'm the case manager because people usually don't get to talk to the attorney right away. So I tell them my background and I let them be comfortable with me and understand that I have a lot of experience. I've been here for a while and I know how to do the job. And then I switch gears and ask them to tell me about themselves. At the end of the day, no matter how the settlement goes, whether we're in trial or whether it's a pre-suit trial or a pre-suit settlement, I want to make sure that they feel as if they have gotten justice for what has happened to them. If they don't, then we will not settle. We will go forward and we won't stop until I know that they feel that justice has been served. Their property damage. Cars are a rolling, depreciating value, and clients have a hard time trying to get what they feel is right for their property damage. Another, I would say, is for their personal injury, trying to explain what their injury has done to them. An injury can just be a back injury or a finger injury or something like that to me and you, but to them, if you have a back injury, you can't pick up your baby, or you can't help your husband who may be a paraplegic, you're not be able to pick up your children from school. So a small injury can mean something very large for them. So a lot of the complications sometimes comes from them being able to verbalize how much this injury has truly impacted them. To tell me how your injury has truly impacted you. To start there versus where the wrong was, but versus start with how it's impacted you, and then we can go into, where the wrong happened. But if you can tell me exactly how this is hurting you, I can figure out a way how to help you quicker than going into the wrong. So I just recently worked on a case of a daycare center where a child was negligently placed in a high chair. He was only 3 months old. So in a high chair, you cannot be, your neck is not built at that point. You don't have the cartilage in your neck to hold up your head. And he toppled over and he fell. He had a fractured skull, a brain bleed, and required 2 craniotomies. It hit home with me because at that point, the mother was a single mom and she had 5 other children. And being a mother myself, I understood what that must have been like to have been rushed, hear that your child is being, brought by a helicopter to a hospital and you have to get to the hospital on time to see your child who may die. The outcome was that we were able to get justice for her. The person who wronged her was arrested, and we were able to get an excellent settlement for her. But being able to connect with her as a mother, not on the wrong, what happened, but just say, I understand what this must be like, and I am here for you, to give her my personal cell phone number, to go to the hospital and visit her and her child, was memorable to me. And to be able to see her face light up after being crying and being hysterical because I walked in the room and she knew help was there, that to me was one of the most memorable cases. I enjoy spending time with my family. I have 2 boys, my husband and my dog, Brady. I'm very big on spending time. Time is the one thing you can never get back. You can get money, you can get everything else back, but you cannot get time back. So when I'm not working, I spend time with my children playing video games, because I do have 2 boys, hiking, swimming. I just recently bought a bicycle so I can go out on bike rides with them, walking the dog, and sometimes just watching TV. I think I've seen every Avenger movie, possibly from the MCU universe, and just being there and hearing about their day and telling them about my day, that's how I'd like to spend my time. So I was born and raised in Massachusetts, so of course I was always a Patriots fan, but I'm learning I think I was more of a Tom Brady fan. Him being the underdog and coming back from everything he's ever been through in his life, from being one of the lowest picks, and then having to serve behind another quarterback, I kind of liken myself to him in a way, because I see that I started late in the game. No one really believed I could really actually do this because I was a paralegal before and I was always the assistant. I was never the lead person. I liken myself to him because with his perseverance and his veracity, he was able to overcome everything. So I believe at this point I may be a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, but I'm really just a Tom Brady fan. I like to help any way that I can. So especially with education, I believe that the children are the future, and these new generations are going to come up and they're going to right a lot of our wrongs that we didn't get right. I like to serve on educational communities, or committees rather, and like to help with children that have IEPs, educational plans that they need someone to be able to direct them, and with their parents to help them with their IEP and to help them with knowing what they can do outside of school to assist them with any disabilities that they have. You are stronger than you think. And that is because at my lowest time and the lowest point of my life, it was sent to me in just a little card. Somebody wrote it on, and I kept that all the way through my graduation of law school. And it reminded me that no matter what happens, that I am stronger than I think and I can overcome anything.